Different perspectives. Why American Horse and White Angel should be a part of Nature American Studies curriculum. On the first day of school, we were asked, what does it mean to be an American? And throughout the course of American Studies, we as students have yet to come up with one answer to this expansive question. That is because there is not one definitive answer. Instead, we have learned that there are countless answers from countless perspectives. Each one is influenced by lessons taught in American Studies. Although the current curriculum is effective in helping students understand what it means to be an American, we think that adding 2 short stories into the curriculum at different places will further enhance the answer to the main question by providing new perspectives.
American Horse by Louise Endrich and White Angel by Michael Cunningham are the 2 stories we are proposing to add to the class because they both provide context for the 2 main focuses in their respective units. First semester, we learned about Native Americans by reading N. Scott Momaday's Way to Rainy Mountain. American Horse brings a modern voice that enhances our understanding of the after-effects of the deterioration of Native American culture. This story is about a Native American boy, Buddy, living on a reservation in danger of being taken away from his alcoholic mother by Child Protective Services. But, as we learned, there weren't always reservations, and this nation's Native people didn't always live in poverty. This is an excerpt from The Way to Rainy Mountain that depicts the golden age of the Kiowa Native Americans often talked about in the book. In the late 17th century, they began a long migration to the south and east. It was a journey towards the dawn. It led to a golden age. Along the way, the Kiowa were befriended by the Crows, who gave them the culture and religion of the plains. They acquired horses, and their ancient nomadic spirit was suddenly freed of the ground. They acquired Taimi, the sacred Sundance doll, from that moment the object and symbol of their worship, and so shared in the divinity of the sun. Not at least they acquired the sense of destiny, therefore courage and pride. When they entered upon the southern plains, they had been transformed. No longer were they slaves to the simple necessity of survival. They were a lordly and dangerous society of fighters and thieves, hunters and priests of the sun. As you can see, there is a sharp contrast between the 2 pictures these stories paint. One about a time of abundance and growth, the other about an impoverished and forgotten reservation, which is why the perspective in American Horse is an important one to incorporate into American Studies. This story also pairs well with the Aaron Huey TED Talk we watched in class. His photographs accurately capture the state of modern Indian reservations talked about in American Horse. The photo at the bottom of the screen was taken by Aaron Huey during his Pine Ridge Reservation shoot. As you can see, Native Americans today do not live the nomadic lifestyle of the past. Pictures are members, a mother and son, from the Sioux tribe located on the Pine Ridge Reservation. This is one of the poorest Indian reservations in America. Aaron Huey's TED Talk and photographs give life to Buddy's situation in American Horse, and you can see some of the parallel themes in the photographs.
American Horse was a story that did not have many mirrors for us as readers, but it contained many windows for our group. The windows in the story were actually what made the story so effective, because it gave us a new context and deeper idea about the way of life in Native American culture. As privileged teenagers living on the North Shore, we could not read the story and see our own lives in the characters, but the new perspective added to our understanding of what it means to be an American. This story addresses the stereotype of American culture, what it is and what it isn't. People associate the term American with a white culture, but we now know that white culture isn't the only American culture. Recognition of other cultures is one of the many answers to the question, what does it mean to be an American?
White Angel would be a great short story used to introduce the class to the context of the 1960s. In American Studies, we learn about the Vietnam War, and although the story does not make specific references to the war, it acts as a backstory for what was going on in America while it was happening. The story is narrated by a 9-year-old named Robert and takes the reader through the new issues that become prevalent in the decades, such as drug and alcohol abuse, new attitude regarding sex in the youth, and changes in the style of parenting children. These issues sparked a social shift in the United States with the influence of the hippie movement. Although there was no mention of either Carlton or Robert or in fact hippies, their drug use, interest in music and peace, and rebellion has come a clear connection in the average hippie lifestyle in the 1960s and 70s. Our group wishes this short story will be incorporated into the American Studies course as a pre-lesson to the Vietnam Union. We hope this student story will provide a great context from students to have a better understanding of the social shift in America before and during the Vietnam War. The story is a great resource for students to refer to and learn more about how America dropped its nuclear family way of life and adopted a new rebellious way of life.
White Angel provides both windows and mirrors for our group. This story is more relatable to us since it takes place in the white suburbs of a large city. Also, drugs and sex are previewed in the story since it takes place in the 60s. Therefore, students may relate to the experiences of the characters, especially since one of them is 16. On the other hand, this story may act as a window for people that are not aware of these experiences. These windows and mirrors give us context based on our own experiences, allowing us to have a better understanding of the question, what does it mean to be an American? For instance, our own experiences, the mirrors, enhance our understanding of the question, whereas we also gain new understandings and perspectives through windows.
There is the possibility that the content of this story could be partially objectionable because of the multiple blatant drug references and instances of drug use. But this story is a window into a time where that was reality, and so it is still important to learn about for this course. Overall, both of these stories add to our still growing understanding of what it means to be an American, providing different, but still correct, answers to the question. What it means to be an American is different for every person in every situation, and these stories just prove that. Adding them to the American Studies curriculum is important because what we learn in this class is ultimately what allows us to add to our conclusion of what it means to be an American.